Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Greetings. Salutations. Happy Tuesday. Good day, good day, good day. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. If you can hear me clearly, would you mind clicking your screen a couple times so that I know the microphone is working on your side? How's today treating you? Where are you tuning in from? What you grateful for? Nice. Me too. Yeah, same. Nah, it's amazing, honestly. I don't have any words. I'm just speechless. It's a good day. We're here. We made it. There's nowhere else to be. Nowhere we need to go. We're just chilling. It's Tuesday, Tarot Tuesday. That means we're going to be reading for all 12 houses of the Zodiac, starting with Aries, making it all the way to Pisces, beginning with house number 1 to house number 12. If it's your first time here, welcome in. Good to see you. If you've been here before, welcome in. Good to see you as well. My name is Gavin. My friends call me Zen. Like I said, this evening we'll be reading for all 12 houses. Super stoked to get started tonight. Take your time to ground into the space. We'll be here for at least an hour as we read for all 12 houses. We're in no hurries to get anywhere. Not seeing any answers to my questions, so I'm not sure if you can hear me clearly, but there's more and more people jumping in the room, so I guess the audio is working. But I like to talk to myself as well, so we'll just keep flowing. Good to see you and good evening. Where are you tuning in from? What you grateful for? Super stoked to get started tonight. Welcome in from Alabama, California, and Georgia. Good to see y'all. Welcome from Missouri and Indiana. Grateful for a peaceful day off work. Love to hear it. Hi from Florida. In North Carolina, salutations everybody. Currently we're tuning in from the good old Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome in from Kansas City and Texas everybody. Got a little bit of everybody here tonight. Hope you're staying hydrated. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Cheers. We're about to get started in just a moment, but first, Nastrovia. I think we got at least somebody from every single state here. It's good to see you, Louisiana and Arizona. We're about to get started tonight. Do we have any Aries in the house? I'm ready to play. I'm excited today. I've got some good feelings for these readings. We're going to start with house number 1, that's Aries. If you're ready for these readings tonight, go ahead and drop me your favorite Aries emoji, maybe a ram, maybe the symbol, maybe some fire. Do we have any Aries in the house tonight? Aries is the ruler of the first house. This is beginnings, initiation. This is who we are in the beginning, before the world attempts to tell us who we are. This is who we are in our purest essence, our light, our finest expression. This is who we are at inception. Aries, house number 1 is where it begins. Super stoked to get started. We all have a first house. The first house is the rising sign, typically. So if you don't know your natal chart, I highly recommend you look it up. It's really fun to follow along, but these messages, they are all grains of salt. If it resonates, let it circulate. If it doesn't, let it go. This is your life at the end of the day. Though we are going to be focusing our energies for the first house this evening. Can you guess my rising? Right now, we're shuffling for Aries, house number 1. Any messages, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction, any omens, any suggestions, anything to bring awareness to, anything to focus on as we move forward into the rest of this Pisces season. For Aries, my friends, we cut this deck, we clear it, we let it rest. Welcome in everybody, it's good to see y'all. We are just beginning with Tarot Tuesday. You've made it to house number 1 today. We're on Aries. Sun, moon, ascendants. Ruling planet being Mars, the god of war, conflict, decisions. Yes, action. Aries, house number 1. For you today. We cut the deck. Clear the energy. We let it rest. We flip the deck upside down to show the root. And for you, the collective, we have 5 of Wands right here, right side up. Lord of Strife for the collective tonight. Thanks for the gift. We have the King of Cups here in reverse for the collective. Prince of the Chariots of the Waters. 2 of Pentacles here. Also reverse in the root. Lord of Harmonious Change. And Oshun, the goddess of generosity, for you. The goddess of the ocean. Number 40 here for the collective. All these cards in reverse except for 5 of Wands here. Lord of Strife. I'm getting this rushed energy. I'm getting this energy of, you ever had a caffeine buzz when you didn't eat any food? It's like you're feeling a little on edge and you need like to ground something. And so like this could be like anticipatory energy of like the new beginning. Like, you know, we're looking forward to Aries season. That's happening in a couple weeks. That is very indicative of like seasons beginning, springtime. The best guide for all of us in this moment in time is like recognizing, where am I striving too hard? Like, where am I reaching? And how can I step back and trust and stay open? Instead of like being reactive and feeling the need to always be on edge, how can I sit into my throne and embrace and invite in harmonious change? Knowing that everything is playing perfectly. So the more that we can just show up and trust and lean into the ocean of generosity that is the universe, that wants to support us, that wants to assist us, rather than thinking that we have to do it all by ourselves. That's where this striving energy comes into play. Because it's like we forget that the universe is like actually here guiding us the entire time and wants to assist us. God, earth, we're being held here by the sky, by the earth. We're being supported. Nature favors the brave and wants to encourage us to continue to dive deeper into our heart's journey, our soul's mission, what we came here to do in this lifetime. Your intuition and your emotions will guide you in this path. This is where the King of Cups comes into play. Cups is the element of emotion. Cups is the element of water. Water represents emotion, feelings, and intuitions. Our feelings and our intuitions point us in the direction of actualizing our dreams. It's just, are we going to take the leap? Are we going to be courageous? And it's not about also forcing it. That's also where the striving energy comes into play. That's like where when you're on edge, there's a difference between doing something with that anxious tendency and then from a space of being completely grounded, centered, and trusting that it's all playing out perfectly. And this is where we are learning to find the ebb within the flow, to bring it back to balance. Because when you're in the flow, it can get really exciting. We just find ourselves in the zone doing the thing, but sometimes we can get lost in the sauce because we get so caught up in the flow. And so this is where it's important to find the ebb within the flow so we can learn how to stay on this very fine line and walk this path. This is the way, ultimately. So the more we can like recognize and catch ourselves when we are stressing ourselves out, the best thing that I can offer right now is to take a breath. To step back into your body and be like, why am I pressuring myself? Where is this coming from? How can I harmonize with my environment, internally and externally? How can I slow down so I'm not always on edge and being reactive, knowing that the universe is generous and wants to see us step into our best, wants to assist us. The earth is literally holding us up. The sky is holding us down, and we're just here in the middle of it all. Right now, there's nowhere else to be. There's nowhere else to go. The more we can just ground and trust and slow down into this, the more we can lead from this space. And this is how we then enact from the wave of harmonious change. This is the intention moving forward. I encourage you to invite in harmony, whatever that looks like to you, beginning to ponder that and sit with that. What does it look like to harmonize with your reality? Groovy. Alright, Aries, what a great way to begin today's readings. We haven't even started any music yet. Usually we have some tunes playing in the background. Do y'all need some music, or is this good without it? Either way, we're about to start flowing for house number 2 today, Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Taurus is ruled by the planet of Venus. Taurus represents our values. Do we have any Taurus in the house today? And if you dug that, if you resonated with that Aries reading, go ahead and drop me your favorite emoji to represent Aries this evening. We're going to keep it flowing for Taurus, house number 2, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Epic, epic, epic. What's good, my Taurus friends? Excited to get started tonight. House number 2 is all about our values, our core beliefs, what we stand and ground into, yes. Fixed Earth, Taurus, is Mother Earth. Yes. Let's do this. Messages for house number 2 today. For the collective and our values, any messages, any guidance, any clarity, signs, or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction for you, my friends. Let's do this. We'll cut the deck. We'll clear it. We'll let it rest. Fantastic. Taurus. House number 2 today. Some strong cards on the table. I love this. I love this. We're ready for it. What's good, Jordan? Welcome in, bro. Right now we're doing Tarot Tuesday, reading for all 12 houses. We're on house number 2, just beginning. We have Saraswati here, the goddess of self-mastery for the collective. Right side up. In the tarot, the only card that's right side up is the 4 of Cups, perhaps 444 on the table. Saraswati being number 44, 4 of Cups here, Lord of Blended Pleasure. We have the Ace of Swords here. Reverse in the draw, Lord of the Roots of the Powers of Air. Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles here, Lord of Wild and Fertile Lands for the collective, Knight of Pentacles. Taurus. Right now, the message that's coming to me is the work is your reward. The work is your reward, yes. Learning how to do what we do, our great works, without any need for the fruits of our labor. We do it because it's the right thing to do. This is the real practice of self-mastery. This is looking ahead and recognizing like we're doing this for something that's greater than ourselves. We're not doing it just for ourselves. And so this is where it's really important to recognize that we find all of our power within our values. Value has nothing to do with a dollar sign and numbers and zeros. Values are the virtues that you stand and you hold near and dear to your core and that you represent, and how you embody these qualities and aspects and characteristics. Ultimately, when you stand in these values, then you bring value back and you add value wherever you go. You're not taking away, you're not becoming a leech to the space. Ultimately, you're adding to it, and this is where it's so important to recognize that we are here to complement, amplify, and encourage to harmonize. Going back to that card from the Aries reading, Ace of Swords here, very prominent card here on the table. Ace of Swords in reverse reminds us of our words. Swords is the element of air. Air is the element of mental energy, like our mentality, our perspective. It's also our air, our breath, how we're breathing, the air that we are, the life energy that we are cultivating within ourselves. It's also our words. It's our communication. It's how we vocalize. We use air to speak these sounds into the space, right? And so it's recognizing that we create our reality with our words. This is where the Ace of Swords is reminding us to be wise with our swords, with our words, because the word swords and words is the same. You just take that S away. So this is where we are so important to recognize how are we using our swords, our words, to cut and shape and carve our reality. We want to create a life that is based in wild and fertile lands and is ultimately focused on cultivating a life in pleasure, a life in joy, a life in one that you can appreciate and honor and revere And this is where it's so important to slow down and to reflect. How am I communicating with myself? What stories am I attaching onto? When it comes to these words, when it comes to these swords, we're nothing more than the stories we tell ourselves. So what stories am I subscribing to? And how is this determining the life that I am cultivating for myself? Because at any instant, we can reclaim our pen and we can become the authors once again. And we can rewrite our story. We can rewire our nervous system. We can completely redact, remove outdated patterns, programs, perceptions, any ways of being that are no longer in resonance with the person who we are becoming. It takes effort, and this is where we're being called to find the pleasure within that effort. It's 11:11 out here in the Midwest. This is where we're finding the real reward is more work. Of course, it's nice to just slow down and do nothing and to rest when we need to, but ultimately, an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. So everything is momentum, my friend, and we are here on the path of self-mastery. May you continue to commit to your journey, your values, and your core beliefs, and this is going to lead you further than anything, my friend. Be wise. Enjoy yourself. Cheers. Thank you, Taurus. House number 2. And we keep it flowing tonight. Yes, indeed. What a solid read. What a solid read. Slow and steady wins the race, yeah? Simplicity is the ultimate form of complexity. And we're out here just flowing with house number 3. Next up, Gemini, Moon, Ascendants. House number 3 is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. House number 3 is indicative of verbal communication, particularly the words that we speak. It's very strong Ace of Swords energy. Gemini being mutable air. Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. For my Gemini friends, we're out here for this. Let's do this. Any messages, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction, messages for you. Let's do this. We cut it. We clear it. We let it rest. Gemini can represent some aspects of duality, definitely. I mean, Gemini is the balance of the twins. But there's multiple, because Libra could also be seen with duality as well, being indicative of balance. I'd say that 7th house is a little bit more duality. And there's a balance to it because there's multiple levels. Whereas Gemini is like the duality within, the light and the darkness within. Libra is in the duality of connecting with your reflections and your fellow people. Pisces is beyond duality. Pisces represents everything and nothing at the same time, simultaneously. It's that which is incomprehensible and cannot be defined or encapsulated, if you ask me. Nonetheless, we're going to keep flowing for house number 3, Gemini, this evening. Any messages, any clarity, signs, or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction for you, my friend. Let's do this. Perfect. I love it. Let's do this. Well, personally, I have a Gemini moon, and we got some strong cards on these tables today. This is very synchronistic for me, personally. The Lovers here. Jesus loves you guys so much, in case you didn't know. The Lovers here for you. Children of the voices divine. We have the Moon card here in reverse. I'm pretty sure Jesus was a Pisces, if you ask me, but maybe a Gemini moon. We have the ruler of the flux and the reflux, the moon here, number 13, reverse. Excuse me, number 18, Pisces. I'm a Pisces sun. I have a Pisces sun, I have a Gemini moon, so for me, this is like very strong. Temperance here. Daughter of the reconcilers, Temperance. And assurance here for the collective, house number 3, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Danu is here to assure you that everything is playing out perfectly. Perfectly. You know, I heard a quote the other day that's coming to me very strong right now, and it's that the plants grow in the nighttime. The plants grow in the nighttime because they're looking for the sun. During the daylight, they're in the sun, so they're absorbing all the nutrients. During the nighttime, those nutrients get instilled within those roots, and now they're still looking for the sun, so they start growing, reaching, yearning. We have to go through those dark spots. We have to go through those aspects of the experience in order to reach for the sun once again, yes? Ultimately, it begins within. This is where that moon card is very prominent here. We just completed a full moon in Virgo as we're here underneath the Pisces sun. The moon is our internal guiding light. Just like the full moon is like a light in the sky during the dark, right? During the night. Similarly, our moon, our soul, is our light within our internal world, our darkness within. You know, our internal world is the dark, the external world is the light, right? That's where the duality comes into play, Gemini, house number 3. Right now, we're learning how to find the balance in the communication between our dark and our light, between our yin and our yang, between our masculine and our feminine, to find union within. This is what life is all about. This is to find the lovers within, to fall in love with yourself. And then from this space, we can connect with people on greater depths and capacities than ever imaginable. But if we're operating from a place of being incomplete, then we're going to be consistently looking for somebody or something to fulfill us. But when we know that we are already perfect, we don't need anything outside of ourselves, this is how we can lean into this temperance, just trusting into the process, and we can continue to grow in love with ourselves and our experience. Rest assured, this is what life is all about. Do not allow the projections, the limiting beliefs, the doubts, the fears, the worries of anybody, especially yourself, to get in the way. You must love yourself to love others, absolutely. And we can only love others to the capacity that we love ourselves. The deeper that we love ourselves, the deeper we can love each other. And this is where it's so important to put yourself first, to prioritize your connection with yourself, because you can't give from an empty cup. And then it's so important to continue to grow and develop love within thine self, within thine soul. What makes you feel connected to your soul? What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel stoked for this experience here on Earth? What makes you feel in love? This is the energy that we are here to create as our base frequency, so we can wake up into this energy on a day-to-day basis. It takes work. It's not easy. It's necessary, essential, and this is what's being called of us. The moon will continue to guide you. If there's anything I could offer you, is to develop a personal relationship with the moon and the cycles that she holds. She's such a prominent and one of the closest, she is the closest astral body aside from the earth, aside from yourself. This is an astral body. The earth is an astral body. The moon is the next closest one that we have, and she obviously moves the tides, right? On the earth, she also moves the water within you. Full moons are great for harvesting. They're great for clearing. They're great for removing. New moons are perfect for planting seeds, for instilling new energies. We just had a full moon. We're moving toward a new moon, and it's going to be a super new moon. This is going to be a very perfect time to plant these seeds that you want to see, and to continue to connect deeper with your soul, especially with the last new moon of this calendar, Zodiac calendar, because the Pisces new moon is the last new moon of the calendar this year. It isn't always that way, but right now we have full moons first and new moons second. Sometimes we have new moons first and full moons second, depending on the orbits of the planets. Right now, we're going to be ending Pisces with the Pisces new moon, which is kind of weird, because typically new moons are for starting and planting seeds, and full moons indicate the ending of a cycle, right? So we're having a new moon at the end of a cycle. So this is just some like very funky energy that we get to play with right now, but this is where it's so important to find that balance within the duality, and to continue to return to your center, and to commit yourself to the practices, the self-care habits, tools that you have on your belt, so that you can continue to cultivate your own personal connection with self and stay true to your path. And staying clear. I want to say spiritual hygiene is very pertinent right now. I think that's the notes I want to end on. Spiritual hygiene, mental hygiene, physical hygiene, of course, but then mental and spiritual and social and financial hygiene are also crucial. Hygiene and healing go hand in hand. Cleanliness is next to godliness. The more you can have a clean mind, the more you can have a clean body. The more you have a clean body, the more you have a clean mind. The more you have a clean spirit, the more you have a clean body and mind as well. We are always meditating. We don't ever stop. Now, Gemini, what a time to be alive. Thank you, house number 3. I feel like we could talk about this for lifetimes, but I think this is a very, very important reading, so we'll just keep it moving. May you continue to follow your path of love, whatever that means to you, because your soul will lead the way time and time again. It doesn't lead you astray. It doesn't always make sense. It doesn't always speak in logic and reason. Though I promise you it's going to lead you so much greater than the logic and reason would, that's for sure. Epic. And we flow forward to house number 4 tonight. We just completed house number 3, Gemini. If you like that message, go ahead and drop me 333 down there in the comments, or any bird emoji or any Gemini emoji that you want to share, or the angel wings emoji, because Geminis are angels. We're going to keep it flowing tonight with house number 4. This is Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. House number 4 is indicative of the home. The home. It's also initiatory psychic energies. House number 4 is fixed. No, excuse me. Wait, yes. Wait, no. Yeah, fixed water. Yeah, fixed water. We did read Taurus, yet we're on Cancer now. House number 4. Do we have any Cancers in the house? Sun, Moon, Ascendants. We got a Cancer rising. I see you, Erica. 333s all around. I love it. Cancer, Sun, and Moon. Epic indeed. Cancer rising as well. I see y'all. Let's do this. 4th house tonight. Fantastic. Holding it down out here. Yes, Cancer is the ruler of the moon. So if you have a Cancer moon, that's like double on that 4th house energy. You're holding that down for the collective. Let us see what this message is today. Any guidance, any clarity, signs, or synchronicities, any words to be spoken in the space for the home, anything that wants to be shared for my bros and my sisters and all of my family. This evening we are shuffling. We got an extra card. We're the collective. We got the deck. We cleared it. We let it rest. House number 4. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Strong cards for you today. So the goddess who jumped in while we were shuffling for you, my friends, we have Ayn, the goddess of adaptability, the queen of the Fae, Cancer this evening. We also draw Ma'at, the goddess of truth, the goddess of earth, Mother Earth for you, Ma'at. We have the Princess of Swords, princess of the rushing winds for the collective. Fortitude, daughter of the flaming sword, Leo's card. And the King of Wands, here in the root, Prince of the Chariots of Fire for you, my dudes. Look at this. Cancer, Leo, Leo. We're on Cancer, house number 4 today. And for you, my friends, we're being very much reminded of how our water is where we find our strength. Our emotion, our intuition is the fuel to our flame. And it's ironic because we're taught, I was sharing this yesterday, but this is just very strong right now. It's ironic because we're taught that water quenches fire, right? That water puts out fire. That's how things happen in this 3-dimensional physical reality, right? But in the metaphysical internal reality, our emotions are what stoke our flame. You know, a lot of people who are operating from rage is because they're stoked on anger, right? If you're operating from passion, it's because you're stoked on enthusiasm or ecstasy, right? And so this is where it's so important to learn how to channel our emotions so that they're stoking the right kinds of flames, so that we're not creating harm, ultimately. Like, there's multiple, like, destruction is a form of creation. Shouts out Donnie Darko. And it's very important to utilize that sometimes, but it's also really important to recognize, like, when we need to stop destroying, we need to start creating. And I feel like these cards are complementing you, collective, house number 4, because you are recognizing how the home is what is the most precious thing there is. And as you begin to learn how to cultivate your home within, you create a home here on this planet. I firmly believe that we all deserve to have home within, that we all deserve to cultivate that space, and we all deserve to feel at home and safe within our skin. However, this society in which we have inherited does everything in its capacity to remove the individual from that sensation of experiencing home within. This society that we experience does everything in its capacity to keep people stuck in cycles of pain and suffering, because you're so much easier to control when you're afraid, when you're in pain. So this is where it takes immense strength to continue to adapt and evolve with all the nonsense that's consistently thrown at us. And I'm just speaking truth right now. May you continue to attune to the frequency of fortitude, but recognizing that you don't have to be so strong. You can be strong and soft at the same time. You can be fortuitous, you can be strong, but you don't have to force things. This is where it's learning how to flow. This is where it's Bruce Lee being like water. Shouts out Cancer. House number 4, cardinal water. Be formless, shapeless. Be water, my friend. Water becomes the cup. You put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. This is what adaptability is all about. And this is when you have the home within, you adapt everywhere. You adapt. You fill your container. You fall into your space. And then you can, from this, you can then operate from clarity, consciousness, consistency. Learning how to then shine your light and share your magic with the world ultimately. House number 4, I love this reading. Yes, shouts out Bruce, indeed. Very important one. Just out here flowing. Thank you, Great Spirit, for moving through me. I'm going to keep it moving for house number 5 tonight. Too bad, Morgan. It seems that you're getting too distracted on the physical. House number 5 is up next. Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Leo, this is for you. Sun, Moon, Ascendants. House number 5. So, house number 4 is the home. House number 5 is the desire. It's the ego. That we are practicing our Leo energy right now. House number 5 is the ego. It's the desire. It's romance. It's love. It's ruled by the sun. For you, my friends. Any Leos in the house? 5th house. Like I said, it's the ego. It's the desire. It's the romance. It's the love. It's the fire. For you, Leo, my dudes. We're going to cut the deck. We're going to clear the energy. We're going to let it rest. We're going to keep it flowing tonight for Leo. House number 5. Got some Leo Venuses, Leo Suns, Leo Moons. Thanks for the gifts. Appreciate that. Right now we are flowing for Leo tonight. We cut the deck. We clear it. We let it rest. Ascendant and rising are the same thing. For Leo, we have this evening Gaia, Mother Earth, for you once more. This time, making form in Gaia. 5 of Wands here. Saturn in Leo, Lord of Strife, makes another appearance tonight. Also showed up for Aries. 5 of Cups here. So we have house number 5 on the table, and we got 5 of Cups and 5 of Wands. Lord of Loss in Pleasure, Mars in Scorpio. 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, both in reverse, and 6 of Pentacles here in the root. Lord of Material Success. 6 of Pentacles here. There's a lot of energy on this table with these 4 cards, Leo. Where do we begin? It's time to reel it in, is the message. It's time to ground. It can be really easy for Leo, house number 5, to be everywhere all at once, because the sun in the sky, it shines its light, and its light casts over the entire planet, right? It's not just like focused on one spot. It's emitting in all 360 directions, right? And your body is also doing the same. You're giving off energy. You're literally pouring light from every pore of your person. It's so important though, and when you're feeling yourself, you're pouring off even more light. But when we're feeling ourselves, this app is trippy. This app is so hysterical, y'all. This is so funny. That was literally the quickest ban I've ever had. This app is ridiculous. It was just they're in the flow right now. They're in the flow right now. Let's just stop that real quick. And if you're just now tuning in, you're like, what is he talking about? We were just in the middle of a live stream doing some really good readings, and then the app said that we broke violations, and so it removed my live access, and then I appealed it, and now it's already back. So algorithm, tisk tisk tisk. So I have my backup account linked in my bio. So if you want to go follow that one just in case anything like that ever happens again, I'd hardly ever use it, but just in case, because I really like this whole live stream feature. It's probably one of my favorite parts about this app. Man, and now that live stream, I don't think I'll get that recording either, which was really good readings. We were very much in the flow, so I hope y'all were taking notes. But we're gonna keep going with Tarot Tuesday, I think. We were literally in the middle of Leo. We were in the middle of Leo when it happened. I was talking about house number 5 being the house of desire and romance. And then it was like, your account has been banned from live stream access for talking about schmexual things. It's like, what? Excuse me. I literally said desire and romance. Algorithm, you're tripping. But yeah, we're on house number 5. We got the cards on the table. We were in the middle of the flow. We were just delivering the message. We're going to get back to it in a second. So funny. So funny. I like this energy though, so we're just going to keep it going. So we're reading for house number 5, Leo. Leo's sun, moon, ascendants. House number 5 is indicative of our romances, of our desires, of our ego, what it is that we want to bring into this world. The cards that we drew on the table in the Hermetic Tarot, we had the 5 of Wands in reverse, the Lord of Strife. We have the 5 of Cups here, also in reverse, the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. We had the 6 of Pentacles, Lord of Material Success, all in reverse, this one in the root. The Goddess, for my dudes, we have Gaia, Mother Earth, for the collective. The only one right side up on the table, with this 5 of Wands, 5 of Cups, Lord of Strife, Lord of Loss and Pleasure, and yet the balance of it, Lord of Material Success, I'm getting this energy of just kind of being everywhere, is what I was talking about in the previous live stream, to recall. See, Leo's, the sun, Leo is indicative, represents the sun. The sun emits light in all 360 degrees, expresses its light in every direction, right? Unapologetically, shamelessly. It's not like it's only choosing one spot to focus its shining its light. It's like, no, Leo represents the sun, which is shining its light. And it's important that we do this, though it's also essential that we ground. Because if we are shining our light but we're not grounded, this is unsustainable, and this is how we burn ourselves out. And this is where it's so important to connect with Mother Gaia, to plant our souls into the core of the earth so we can stay rooted, so we can learn how to sustain this flame and continue to cultivate this light and learn how to live from this as our base state of being, ultimately. And when it comes to the Lord of Loss and Pleasure, the Lord of Strife, this is like recognizing like when and why we are shining our light. Because like if we're shining our light because like we're feeling ourselves, like that's awesome. But if we're shining our light because we're trying to impress other people, that's whack. It's not sustainable, and it's really not true. We also don't need to like force anything. We don't need to reach. We don't need to strive to shine our light. Like it's learning how to find that like sustainable, eternal flame, because we're here for the long haul. Ultimately, that's where we are learning how to redefine what success looks like. And through the process of alchemizing our shadow, bringing light to the areas of our life that we need to integrate more awareness and consciousness into, this is how we can then redefine success, step into our power, and become the creators of our reality. Ultimately, though, it's learning how to stay grounded throughout that endeavor, learning how to see oneself as the star, and recognizing that you, my friend, are the center of the universe. You have the pen. You get to write your story here. Ultimately, Earth is meant to be a school, a journey, but a lot of us get super lost in the school, whether it be in the suffering and the pains and the worries, or it be in the pleasures. And this is where it's so important to continue to stay present, to ask myself, okay, what do I need to reflect upon? What lessons am I learning right now? What do I need to continue to integrate? What do I need to continue to accept, so that I can like recognize, okay, I'm not perfect in this area. I need to strengthen these qualities so I can continue to fine tune this path of success ultimately. Because we're not here to settle. We're not here to settle. Earth is a school for the soul, and we're here to learn how to embody, ground, and express our soul S-O-L, soul as in Spanish, the sun, Leo energy, right? That's the external expression, whereas S-O-U-L is the internal light. And when you have a connection with your soul, S-O-U-L, then you can learn how to take this internal light and express it externally onto this reality. Ultimately, the more you connect with your soul, the more that you have the capacity to share your soul with this world. Whew. Indeed. I'm going to keep it flowing. Thank you, house number 5. I love that reading tonight. I'm not even butthurt. I am. That definitely took a hit when the live stream was cut and we lost live access, because that just is a trigger point. Because it's like, man, I do good work on this app and I've been doing really good to make sure that we follow the guidelines so we can keep this account alive. But we're gonna keep it flowing tonight. It was some total nonsense, but I'm not gonna let it affect me. We got house number 6 for you to stay, yes, in the flow state. House number 6, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. Virgo, for you, my friends. Everything happens perfectly. Alright, already we all float on. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, just like Gemini. But if Gemini, house number 3, is about communication with our words, Virgo, being mutable earth, is the communication with our body language. How we communicate with our being, our energy, our earth. Indeed. Let us see what the message is. Any guidance, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, where we have a Mercury placement, wherever your 6th house is. Okay, my friends, let's do this. Do we have any Virgos in the house tonight? I see you, Aaron. What's up, Sunshine? What's up, Marissa? Beautiful. Virgo, for you today. Let us see what these cards have to say. Strong energy. And your card this evening, we have Queen of Pentacles. And even though she's indicative of the season of Sagittarius to Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles, I think that the Queen of Pentacles is indicative of Virgo, definitely, because Virgo being pure earth expression, ultimately, in the embodiment of such. Queen of Pentacles here in the root. We have the Emperor here, reverse in the draw, the sun of the morning. We have the Knight of Wands here, also. Lord of the Flame and Lightning in reverse. Lizzie, the goddess of revelations here for the collective, number 28. Very strong, regal, royal cards for you today, Virgo. Not surprised. I think it's really important here to recognize, though, now it's time to start applying, to start speaking with your actions rather than your words, because it's so easy to judge things with our mind and with our words, but that shit doesn't do anything at the end of the day except create more pain and more suffering. Yes, sometimes we need to use our words to bring more revelation and awareness to what's happening, though ultimately actions speak louder than words, and this is the real work, to put our money where the mouth is and to actually start taking actions. This is where that Queen of Pentacles energy is partnering with that Emperor, the Emperor being somebody who is ready to show up and do what needs to be done. The Knight of Wands just amplifies this, Lord of Flame and Lightning, getting it done instantaneously. Queen of Pentacles is just recognizing, yo, if you don't like what's happening, then you need to change it. Talking shit's not going to do anything. It's okay to call it out. It's okay to recognize what's causing the issue. Though at the same time, mulling on it and just continuing to, gossip or just perpetuate that narrative, it's not going to help anything. And so once the issue has been revealed, now it's time to start taking steps. And if you don't know what the path is, then ask. And the path will begin to reveal itself. And this is the real work. What we're learning how to do is to recognize, okay, I don't have to worry about other people's emotions anymore. And it's not because I don't care. It's just because it would be doing it an injustice and in service if I was walking around afraid that I'd be stepping on people's toes. If I was limiting my own personal expression because I was afraid of how I might hurt somebody else's feelings, but knowing what I'm doing is not harmful in nature, this is where it's so necessary to recognize, okay, we got to just do what needs to be done, even if we're, afraid, even if we Whether we're afraid of how people might judge us, we're afraid of how people might see us or perceive us, or we're afraid that we might offend somebody because of our truth and yada yada. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. This is stepping into our power. Exactly, not one's responsibility to take on anybody's own, perception. That's their personal business, and you don't have to concern yourself. This is what it means to step into one's power. Because if the Emperor, if the Queen of Pentacles was constantly giving her energy and awareness to all the nonsense, because people love to talk, if she was always giving her energy to the nonsense, then she would be losing herself in the sauce, in the process. Ultimately, she'd be falling off her throne. She'd be giving her crown away. You can just hit mute, block, report, goodbye, see ya, sayonara, talk to you never. It's really easy. And you can do that with life. You can do that in your live stream. And this is the real work. You don't have to talk shit about them though. You just keep it flowing. And we are going to keep it flowing. Indeed. Thank you, Virgo. I love this energy. Lifelong journey. Especially for my Virgos. I know you. Oh yes. House number 7, Libra, for you tonight. Page, not today, nope. This is my only account. The only backup account is linked in my bio, and any other account is not me. Right now, we're moving to house number 7 this evening. Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Libra energy, yes. Libra, ruled by Venus as well. This is the love shared. House number 7 is connection, romance, relationship. Not necessarily romance relationship, can be. Romantic relationship, friendship relationship, business relationship, family relationship. It's relationship in general. It's how we connect and we balance each other out. Yes, Libra is all about balance. What's the message? Any guidance, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom for you, my friends. Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Important. Very important. Take a step back, Libra. I know it's exciting, but don't force yourself. Hold your horses. We have the Chariot here in reverse. Don't get drunk on the power that you're experiencing. We have the Lord of the Triumph of Light, the Chariot here, reverse. We have the Hierophant here also. Magus of the Eternal Gods, both in reverse. 5 of Cups here, right side up in the root for you. Lord of loss and pleasure. This is where I'm saying hold your horses. Don't get yourself drunk in the power, in the love. Goddess Yukiona, goddess of stillness, is reminding us what we need to do right now. Take a step back. Hold on. Why am I operating the way I'm operating? Is this actually expressing my highest capacity and caliber and qualities that I want to represent? Or am I operating from a space of being drunk on power, on love, rage, being lost in the pleasure, being lost in the catharsis? Because it can be extremely therapeutic to express from a catharsis space, right? To do something that is like screaming to the wind or something, yeah? But when we're doing things that are cathartic and other people are involved, this is how we can create harm. So this is where it's so important to hold up. I see you stepping into your power, but don't get lost in the sauce. This is where the Chariot and the Hierophant are in reverse, because it's like, okay, you're stepping into a new realm of existence, and it's important that you take your time. you practice diligence. The Hierophant is an individual who shows up on a daily, consistent basis. They have routines, rituals, they have recipes that they can practice to craft their magic and their experience of their life. It's a divine masculine who shows up with discipline. It's like when you are flying an airplane and you're pulling the airplane out of the hangar. You have to run all of these checks on the airplane to make sure that it is in quality condition to run. It's safe. And this is the Hierophant doing all the little steps and procedures to check the chariot to make sure that it is okay to take its journey. But if you just take off without doing all that, that's how you can get lost in the pleasure. That's how maybe 2 miles down the road your wheels start falling off. This is where it's so important to be like, okay, wait, let me just take a breath. I don't need to rush. Everything plays out perfectly. And what I'm doing is this actually creating more drama around me? Let me balance it out. This is Libra, what you're really all about. You're here to operate from the space of balance. It's so important to be reflective and to not operate from a space of a heightened emotion. Stillness is going to be one of our best friends at this moment, and we can tap into that stillness with our breath. When we're feeling heightened, when we're feeling the energy, just maybe even stepping outside, taking in some fresh air, and like shifting in the posture, like rolling your shoulders down and back, like physically moving back, getting higher into your higher self, like seeing it from a bird's eye view before just diving right in, my dudes. Whew, solid. Thank you, house number 7. Libra, I think that was a very important message that needed to be spoken, and I appreciate your receptivity. And I'm excited to keep this energy flowing. Yes. If you dug that message, go ahead and drop me cheers emoji or the balance, the scales, or 777 perhaps. We're going to keep this moving tonight. Next we have house number 8. House number 8. Scorpio. I see you 7s out here. Epic indeed. House number 8 today. Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Ascendant. Wherever you have an 8th house placement. Wherever you may have Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio 8th house is indicative of death, marriage, transformation. It's the depths. Cardinal, water. It's the bottom of the ocean, the darkness. Scorpio, for you, my friends. Any messages, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom for you. Let's do it. Solid cards today. I like it. Let's do this. It's a solid Scorpio reading. We have the Emperor here, Son of the Morning. Right side up in the root. The only tarot card, right side up today. We have the 10 of Swords, Lord of Ruin, reversed. King of Wands, also reversed, making another appearance tonight. Prince of the Chariots of the Fire. And Mama Kocha, the goddess of water. Number 33 for Scorpio this evening. Scorpio. This is like really the time to recognize what ways am I ruining myself. Because, like, it gets to a point where we need to ruin what is ruining us. This is where the Emperor card is, like, recognizing, okay, like, I no longer have any capacity, any tolerance for anything that is not in harmony with my Emperor energy. It's like learning how to create a standard for self and recognizing that you are the Emperor of your life, and anything that is not in alignment with that no longer has time, effort, or space for your being, ultimately. What's being called right now is some boundaries. It's some cleaning of the water. It's getting some stuff circulating and flowing. So it's not just staying stuck and stagnant, because you know what happens when water stays in one place for too long, right? It gets funky and not in a fun kind of way. And so this is where it's important to get that shit flowing, get it moving so we can circulate, so we can tessellate. the things that ruin us are the blockages, getting stuck, the things that we damn ourselves for. There's a reason why the word damn, like a dam in a river, and like to damn somebody, like I'm gonna damn you to hell, like they're the same thing. To damn somebody is like to block their energy flow. And that's like where we need to stop damning ourselves. We need to stop blocking our flow. We need to keep flowing. We need to learn how to break down these barriers. And we need to learn how to also create barriers that are going to be sustainable to channel the flow in direction with the journey that it is that we want to make it. And this is where the inspiration, the King of Wands energy, is also playing into king role, the key role of learning how to operate from a space of inspired action, like finding, I'm getting like tough mudder energy, like this is like very like resilient, like strong, like difficult athlete energy, like finding the fun within the suck ultimately. And this is being very much important for 8th house right now, because I know 8th house individuals can get stuck in that wallowing, in that darkness, in that misery. And like this is where it's so important that we learn how to embrace that so we can dive into it. Sometimes we need to clean our swamping physics with ruining truth. Exactly. I get what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. It's like we need to clean what's ruining us, the swamp. We need to clean the swamp, right? We need to do what's necessary. We have to ruin what is ruining us ultimately. Sometimes you know it gets to a point where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and this is where we can then move from this space of being inspired. And this is where it's like learning how to see oneself as the emperor. If you saw yourself as the emperor, how would you live your life? What would you allow and what would you no longer? And how can you continue to hold yourself to this capacity? Like right now I'm looking at my desk and I'm like, that's messy. If I was living as an emperor, I would not have a messy desk ever. And so like that's just like learning how to hold that caliber to oneself. Stagnant waters definitely indicate inaction. And this is where it's so important that we have to take action every single instant. We're provided an opportunity of choice. Ambivalence and apathy are evil, ultimately. It's so important that we get things moving. And even if you're not feeling motivated, even if you're not feeling inspired, you got to start moving, because that's how you start getting things to shift. And once you start getting it moving, then the inspiration will follow suit. This is where discipline over motivation every day of the week. Aho. Cheers. We keep it flowing. Second law. Momentum is everything. Indeed. And we keep it flowing. House number 9. Sagittarius for you tonight. Day nada. Super stoked. Super duper stoked. We're going to keep it flowing for house number 9 tonight. Do we have any Sagittarius in the house? Hey Scorpio, did you like that reading? Go ahead and drop me your favorite Scorpio emoji if you dug it. Or maybe 888 on the table. Oh yeah. Right? Yeah. It is interesting how your goddess card was Mama Kocha, the goddess of water, indeed. Let's do this. I love it. I love it. We're going to keep it flowing tonight. We got Sag on the way. Yes, house number 9. This is divine guidance. This is ascension energy. This is wisdom of the gods. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the king of Greek mythology. This is the ruler of expansion, evolution. Yes, yes, yes. Strong Sag moon energy runs in the family. Right now, for you, my friends, house number 9 tonight. Let's see what the message is. We cut the deck. We clear it. We let it rest. Epic. I like it. Let's do this. For you, my friends, Sagittarius, daughter of the flaming sword, fortitude, makes another appearance here tonight. 5 of swords, reverse. Lord of defeat. 2 of pentacles, also reverse in the root. Lord of harmonious change. And Iris, the goddess of communication, for the collective. Sagittarius. Her in Fortitude, very, very clear. This entire message is all about listening. This entire message is all about listening. Do you listen to yourself when you speak? Do you ever check in with your heart? With your breath? Because, where am I communicating from? I think this is a very important question to ask oneself on a consistent basis. Where am I communicating from? Am I communicating from my heart? Am I communicating from my head? Am I communicating from fear? Am I communicating from love? How can I communicate in a way that is going to increase, invite in, and promote and encourage harmonious change? If life is one great musical, if life is one amazing symphony, how can I play my part properly so that I can harmonize accordingly? Everything is music. Everything is vibration and frequency. We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of the dreams. The more we can stand in this energy, the more we can move from confidence, from our core, our heart. This is what we came here to do. This is how we learn how to become composed, becoming the composers of ourselves. This body is an instrument. You are the player of the instrument. The more you get to learn how your instrument operates, the more clearly, accurately, and precisely you can then utilize your instrument to convey the message, the music that it is that you wish to speak into this space. It takes great strength. It is not easy. It is what you make it. The fortitude, though, the crucial component of this, is reminding us that everything in our system, in our society, does everything in its capacity to not let us see ourselves in such a fashion. This is where that fortitude comes into play, because when you choose this path, you're going against the grain. You're going upstream, you're going against the current. But it's crucial, because going with the flow is toxic. This is a very toxic flow society. And so the more we can be clear with our communication, the more we can operate from a conscious, aware space that we can create the life that is that we wish to live. I'm going to say it once again. Your body is an instrument. You are the player of this instrument. We all have a song to sing. We all have a chord to play in this cosmic symphony. The more we can learn how to attune ourselves to truth being the clearest frequency, truth being the clearest frequency, the more we can learn how to live into our truth, ground into our truth, embody our truth, the more we can show up and play in this game, in this symphony, in this grand Leela that we call life. Accordingly, we all have a role to play. But if we allow ourselves to get stuck in these cycles of defeat, worry, doubt, pain, suffering, loathing, then we're blocking ourselves. This is where we recognize that there's really no such thing as defeat. Loss is a lie. As long as you learn, as long as you're reflecting and you're asking, what did I learn from this experience, then you're gaining. You're not losing a dang thing. And this is that strong Sagittarius energy to recognize that everything can be a teacher. Everything can be a guide. Everything can assist me in my process of ascension, evolution, and expansion if this is my perception. Because ultimately I am the creator of my reality and nobody can do it for me. How can I communicate from a space of clarity, consciousness, and composure? And compassion. I think that's very much the last one we want to note on. Compassion. Because we're all doing it in our own way. And the more we can do it for ourselves, and the more we can do it together. Epic. Indeed. Failure only appears when you stop trying. Exactly that. Mama didn't raise no quitter, that's for sure. Fantastic. The boys around here ain't like this either. Nah, he's a rare one, I tell you what. Sagittarius, I love you. What an awesome reading. I dug that one dearly. Do I have any... Who else dug that reading tonight? If you like that reading, go ahead and drop me your favorite Sagittarius looking emoji. Whether it be some fire heart, Need to remember to relax the belly, definitely. To relax overall. Where am I holding tension within my body, and how can I practice letting go? Whitney dug it. I love to see it. Sagittarius, thank you for the message. Hey, keep it going. Yes, indeed. Capricorn, up next for you, my friends. House number 10, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, Capricorn tonight. We have any Capricorns in the house? Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet, the god of time, foundations, legacy, reputation, governance. 10th house is fixed earth. So it's like what we build our society from. Capricorn is indicative of the world in which we live, ultimately. If Taurus is the earth itself, Capricorn is then the society. If Taurus would be the earth, Virgo is the building of the civilization, Capricorn is the civilization itself. Cool. I'm gonna keep it flowing. Indeed. House number 10, I see y'all tonight. For my Capricorns, let's do this. Any messages, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction for house number 10. Awesome. Let's do this. I like it, switching it up a little bit. It's good, though. This is what we need to see. We have the Empress here for you, Capricorn. Daughter of the mighty ones, this is you. Persephone, the goddess for Capricorn tonight, house number 10, the goddess of inexperience, the goddess of the underworld. Capricorn is showcased by the devil card in the tarot, so I find it fitting that, the devil is seen as Hades in other mythologies, right? And Hades is the husband of Persephone, yada yada. You can give anything meaning, but we have Persephone, the goddess of inexperience for Capricorn tonight. 7 of Swords here in reverse. The Lord of unstable effort, reversed though. And the Judgment card here, also reverse. Spirit of the primal fire in the root. Similar to what we are sharing with the Sagittarius reading, Capricorn is just amplifying this energy on the feminine side, bringing balance back to it. We're here stepping into our Empress energy. We're here seeing ourselves, honoring our emotions, honoring our intuitions, honoring our feelings, recognizing that these two are regal and deserve reverence and deserve not just reverence, but they're actually precious and need to be preserved, protected. And the cards are commending Capricorn here. You've made it to the Empress throne, but things are fresh. It's like you've just become the Empress, and so now you're growing into the dress. Like the shoes, they might fit, but you've never worn heels this high before. So it's going to take a second to learn how to walk in them. You know what I'm saying? You look so good in them, I tell you what. The 7 of Swords here in reverse is like reminding us, like, okay, yeah, like I no longer have that capacity for that unstable effort. Like, because you made it here to the Empress energy, you had to let go of past patterns, habits, ways of being that are unstable, that are not in resonance with this Empress energy. You can't be doing all these silly things because you now have a standard, you now have a recognition, realization of what it is that you are living for, standing for, living within. And if anything is not in resonance, if anything in your life is not complementing this, encouraging this, amplifying this, then it doesn't have any space in your reality any longer. And this is where it's reminding us, okay, yes, every single instant, every single moment, I'm provided the opportunity to make a judgment, to make a choice. Just like you're choosing to listen to this random kid on the internet talk these words right now, every single instant we're provided a choice. Okay, how can we choose a space to live a life in accordance with our Empress energy? Are the choices that I'm making in alignment with my Empress capacity? This is what's going to help us remove that inexperience, because as we choose one step at a time, we're going to develop our XP points. We're going to get our experience points on the board. But we must, take radical responsibility for the ways in which we are entertaining patterns, programs, ways of being that are unstable in effort. And the Empress, we have to, if we want to be the Empress, we can't any longer keep one foot in, one foot out. We gotta put both feet in the heels. We We can't just put one foot in the heel and then walk around acting like we're the Empress. You'll be all lopsided. Exactly. Whatever shoes you want to wear. These boots were made for walking. If you want to be barefoot, shit, spread those feet out and be barefoot. Hug the earth with your toes. This is your life. You get to do what you want at the end of the day, but walk in power. Walk as the Empress, the Emperor that you are. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Just to end this reading, Capricorn, I love you so much. Because this is what we are doing. When people are stepping into their power, this is how we embody the age of Aquarius, where there's a horizontal power structure where everybody has the capacity to be an emperor. Everybody has the capacity to be an empress. Everybody has the capacity to be a god, a goddess, king, queen. We all have this capacity. It's just, are we going to actualize it? Are we going to take steps in that direction? Are we going to do what is required of us to stay true, to keep those muscles strong, to train? Yes, 1222 out here in the Midwest, indeed. So, Capricorn, my last little bit. Jake the dog from Adventure Time, he said sucking at something is the first step at getting good at something. And that's where Persephone, number 1, comes into play. An experience. We must embrace the suck. We must recognize that we're not going to be the best Empress right away. I might look funky, quirky, awkward when I'm walking in these new shoes. Though always wanting to improve, evolve, expand, never settling, always wishing to continue to grow. The training doesn't ever stop. It doesn't ever stop. Maybe we'll reach a plateau eventually, like when we're like 90. But like until then, we still have plenty of room to grow. And so, Capricorn, that's what we're here to do. We're here to step into our personal power so we can reclaim the power rather than allowing these fools to be running a mockery across the planet. But that's a whole other conversation. Yes, stabilize in the power, indeed. Oh, so cute. I love it. Persephone's calling you, it seems. Yes. Alrighty, we keep it flowing. We keep it flowing tonight. Aquarius, for you, my friends. Epic. Do we have any Aquarians in the house? Sun, Moon, Ascendant. House number 11. Aquarius is representative of the collective. So if Capricorn is the foundation, let's say Capricorn is the dance floor, Aquarius is everybody on the dance floor dancing. Capricorn is the base, Aquarius is the people working on the base, the collective operating within that space. Aquarius, exactly. See, we're all singing out here in harmony. What's good, Gabrielle? Yes, indeed. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants for y'all today. Any messages, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction for you, my friends. Here we are. Awesome. Indeed. Let's do this evening. Yeah, we just been flowing without music, Ari. We just been in the zone. The readings have been going good, so may as well. I mean, we got what, one more after this, so may as well just go. No music tonight. You missed the earlier live stream, I think, but yeah, we in the flow right now, so we're just gonna stay in it. Ellen here for the collective, the goddess of patterns, the goddess of the way, jumping out my hands. She wants to play Aquarius for you, my friends. Sun, Moon, Ascendant. We have the Four of Swords, Lord of Rest from Strife. Four of Swords here for you tonight. The Hierophant once again. Magus of the Eternal Gods, the Hierophant. Right side up for the collective, the Hangman here, reverse, in the root. Spirit of the Mighty Waters. The only one in reverse for the collective, and it's in the root. So this is very indicative of the energies that we are bringing into this age of Aquarius. What patterns am I being called to remove, to overwrite, to repattern, ultimately? Where is there breaks within the sacred geometry, ultimately? This is the energy, because everything in life plays out according to patterns, right? An object in motion stays in motion, that's a pattern. An object at rest stays at rest, that's a pattern. Unless acted upon by an outside force, that's a break in the pattern. Right now, we're being called to break some patterns and reinstill other patterns. Life is all about the patterns that we commit on a consistent daily moment-to-moment basis. Everything builds on itself, and the things that we do consistently have compounding interest. So the things that we do on a daily basis can like instantaneously like build over time. You know, you can play guitar for 2 hours, one day, a month, for a year, or you can play guitar for 5 to 15 minutes every day for that year. You're going to make much more growth in just that 5 to 15 minutes for every day rather than the 2 hours once a month. This is where consistency is crucial. This is where the Hierophant reminds us it's not about what, but it's about showing up and surrendering. This is why it's so important to at least do something like when it comes to going to the gym, perhaps like you at least showing up and getting there, or yeah, maybe not working your ass off and like doing the hardest workout, but at least you're doing something so you can keep the energy moving. You're not allowing yourself to disrupt the momentum that you have been cultivating. So this is where it's so important to be honest with ourselves. What patterns need to be ascended ultimately? If we're ready to step into our divinity, if we're ready to step into our greatness, then there are some patterns that are limiting us from that. These are the dead weights that are ready to be alchemized, that are ready to be released. For me, a lot of that is like little things like cleaning. Like I said earlier, that's going to be the theme or the metaphor that I'm using, is just having a messy desk. It's just like, I mean, I love it. You know, they say geniuses have a messy desk, but also I think some really good geniuses have no messy desk at all because they're on their shit. They're not a genius who's lost in their mind. They're a genius who's like grounded and embodied. And so this is my goal. It's like I want to be, you know, very clear in my mind, but also having my shit in order. So this is like where like stepping into CEO role or just someone who's like the captain. I'm the captain, my captain. Like, this is the energy we're stepping into, and it's like, okay, like if I was to live my life according to that capacity, what patterns would I be playing out on a consistent daily basis? How can I reflect upon myself, and like what patterns are presenting themselves in real time as well? Because that's the other thing, like even if we are being reflective and we're asking ourselves these questions, a lot of the times we don't even know what patterns are playing out until they present themselves in real time. So that's also another thing. It's like, oh shit, like I didn't even realize that this pattern was still echoing in my subconscious for years until I like got into this relationship. And so like now this like pattern is representing itself, and it's like, okay, am I going to continue to go in that way, or am I going to choose something that's new and much more in alignment with who I wish to become? And this is like where it's so crucial to just continue to show up and do what we need to do. But life is all about patterns, and it's so important to be honest with ourselves throughout this process. You said I'm so messy, but I know exactly where everything is. I definitely get it. Can you give examples of patterns in love? Sure, like maybe you have a pattern of just instantaneously like rushing from one relationship to the next before actually like allowing yourself to decompress and just like grounding into yourself. That's a pattern, to just like rush from one relationship to another. There's so many different patterns. Yeah, it's literally so many. Anything can become a pattern. Literally anything that you do more than once has the capacity to become a pattern. Codependency is a very big pattern for a lot of people. toxic patterns especially are very crucial. Are your patterns toxic or are they healthy? And this is where it's essential to be honest with oneself. Exactly. We're going to keep it flowing tonight. Pisces, house number 12. Sun, moon, ascendants for you, my friends. Thank you, Aquarius. Thank you, Aquarius. What are the patterns for your age of Aquarius, my friend? That's the question. Alrighty, we keep it moving. Pisces, sun, moon, ascendants for my fish in the house. Happy birthday, babes. Let's see what these messages have for you today. Any guidance, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction. I got some Pisces in the house. When's your birthdays, huns? Aquarius is on point. Love to hear it. Pisces sun, leap year. Oh, shoot, your birthday's coming up. That's exciting. 318, so exciting. I got 313. You got 311. Epic. We're holding it down out here for my fish. Any messages, any clarity? I also have 5 signs in Pisces, 5th house. Any guidance, any clarity, signs or synchronicities, words of wisdom, direction for my Pisces friends. Any messages for you today? Let us see, let us say. We cut it, we clear it, and we let it rest. Pisces, house number 12, ruled by Neptune. I didn't even talk about Aquarius being ruled by Uranus. Nonetheless, I did talk about being the collective. 12, Neptune is the dreamer. Neptune is the reality that is beyond this dimension. Neptune is the ruler of the imagination, that which is beyond time and space and definition. Pisces is etheric and also indicative of the subconscious. Right now, we get some strong cards on the table today for you, Pisces, my friends. Let's get right to it. We got a lot of repeat cards on the table. This guy's made, I think, more appearances than anybody. We have the 5 of Wands, Lord of Strife, this time in reverse for Pisces, my friends. A strong energy on the table, so it seems. He also made an appearance for Leo and Aries, and maybe somebody else. We have the Temperance card here, Daughter of the Reconcilers, right side up. Justice here in the root, Daughter of the Lord of Truth. And here we have Hecate, the goddess of the in-between for you this evening, Pisces. Now, I never made this association until now, though I feel like Hecate is perfect to go along with Pisces. Pisces is like the space in between. It's like if Aquarius is the collective, Pisces is like that space before the next beginning. Yes, it is the last one, it is the end, but also Aries is the first, you know, so Pisces is the space between, you know, the collective and the new beginning. It's the ending, it's the dissolving, it's the dissolution, and so it makes a lot of sense that Hecate is here. Also, we got so much happening in Pisces right now. Not only, obviously, is the Sun in Pisces currently, we also have Neptune in Pisces, we also have Saturn in Pisces. And we've never had the Sun, Neptune, and Saturn in Pisces in conjunction like they are right now in at least 150 years or more. I think it was like the 1850s is the last time that Saturn, Neptune, and the Sun were all conjunct in Pisces. This is very, very strong indicative energy. Also, we have Saturn ending its cycle. The last time that Saturn was in Pisces and the Sun were in Pisces at the same time and space was over 30 years ago, before I was born, before a fair amount of us in this room were born. It's okay if you were born during that time. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, we're in a very, very fresh time. Pisces is the last of the Zodiac. It's house number 12. Saturn represents the world. Saturn in house number 12, going from Saturn to Aries, is the end of the world. It's the end of Saturn's cycle. It's going to begin a new cycle by 2026. Saturn will make its way into Aries. So as Saturn is shifting from Pisces to Aries, this is why we're seeing this immense, crazy collective collapse. So many governmental, fundamental financial structures are dissolving and falling right before our very eyes. The corruption is being presented, and it's reaching the surface, and it's justice is playing out. Justice is playing out perfectly. It's all happening organically. The best thing that we can do throughout this time is to move with temperance and to not strive. That's the thing. Learning how to sustain our flame. Just trusting that the justice is already taking shape. It's all happening according to the will. Everything is divine. It's just, are we willing to tap into that, or are we going to get lost in the sauce ultimately? If you are willing to accept the mission, be temperate. Do not strive, do not frustrate or force yourself to stay in the flow. Continue to flow and to be clear in your flow, to not flow in accordance with toxic patterns and programs, but to be flowing in accordance with justice. Temperance reminds us that patience is one of the greatest virtues, and that the best things take time. Slow and steady wins the race. Pisces is beyond time and space. Learning how to be okay doing nothing. Recognizing that you don't need anything, you don't need to go anywhere. Right now we're here to find peace in this in-between so that we can bring it wherever we may be. Ultimately, justice is playing out perfectly. Learning how to just trust and lean into that is crucial, because you are the creator of your reality, and your beliefs shape your entire reality. So if you believe that justice is on the way, then you're going to start creating those kinds of waves. If you don't, then you're going to create the opposite. And it's up to you. This is your choice at the end of the day. I want to say thank you for choosing to be with me here tonight. Trust is crucial. Faith is necessary. What an awesome evening this has been. I had so much fun. The recording of this will be uploaded on my YouTube tomorrow or so. We're going to close this live stream so we can save that recording. We will be jumping on in a moment or so to read for personal readings, but every single Tuesday we do this. So we're going to close out this live stream to save this once. We can upload it tomorrow, and then we'll jump back on in a moment. We'll refresh ourselves, use the restroom, and be back. But this has been fun. Very awesome. Very, very awesome readings today. I really like these ones. I'm super grateful to share the messages with y'all. Thank you so dearly for being with us this evening. If you want to join us for the next live stream, you're more than welcome to do so. If you want to go follow my backup account just in case, you can also do that. If you want to go follow me on Instagram, that's always cool. So many things happening here. Multi-dimensional individual. Love to be here on the live stream with y'all. Excited to see you in the next one. Stay in the flow. Take care of yourself. And until the next time. Fare thee well. Receiving, reciprocating all my love.